What are your thoughts about what happened this week? Nina
Well,
Turner, Andrew Cuomo. What are you thinking about?
well, the Andrew Cuomo stuff, man. I I don't want to do any, you know, anti
Italian,
Italian prejudice, but I do actually think what he did was wrong, and
and
he should
that's
resign.
and now what you're saying is that's not because he's Italian,
Not
unrelated to his
because he's
Italian
Italian,
heritage. You're not
not because
committing
he's
a hate
Italian.
crime here. You're just based on what he did.
Yes, just based on what he did, which is not normal and not how you're supposed to act. And his defense, which was so prepared, I like they had a video, like a pre-taped
Montage.
video
Yep.
ready, and it was exposed. We knew it was pre-taped because it looped. It started looping on CNN. They didn't stop it ahead of time, so it was pre-taped. And he basically explained that all this behavior. He tried to make it about this one woman so that he doesn't have to address like the 12 women who are
Right.
saying he mistreated people, besides all the other people. Because the report didn't just say that he sexually harassed like dozens of women, it also said he was abusive in every way a boss can be abusive to
Right.
anybody, basically.
Yes, and very important point from Tony DeMeo, which is that most Italians don't act like Andrew Cuomo. Thank you for saying that. Not all Italians, but he
Yeah.
definitely tried to hide behind being Italian. Cuomo did, and he also tried to hide. It was so disgusting, that point where he like called out the report. So we're talking about the report from the Attorney General's office. Tish James released a report that basically corroborated the allegations of 11 women who had accused Cuomo of things ranging from inappropriate like commentary to actually cupping their breasts. And he definitely, what he tried to do in this montage that he prepared, which I can't believe he prepared this. Like, this was not done by Oppo. This was his own attempt at damage control. He had a montage of himself, and I live streamed this on, when did it happen? Tuesday. Basically inappropriately touching people of all colors,
Yes.
backgrounds, creeds, ages. And you think we're joking, but we're not. And he also tried to hide behind, like, he tried to play the male ally, feminist ally, because he was like, the report went after women in my office, and that's because they're women. They get, when have you seen a man maligned for being, having
Yeah,
people
he
work
tried to
hard?
bring in
The
Kamala
ambitious versus bitch
Harris's
thing. Yeah.
and Amy Klobuchar. I'm like, wait a
Yes,
minute,
exactly.
how is that your defense, dude?
Right. I mean,
How does it
and
help you?
well, the irony is that he's like, when are men maligned for this? It's like, you're being maligned for this, rightly. So
Yes,
anyway,
he deserved it. He's saying this whole system's out of order, I guess, so nobody should be held accountable.
right. Or he's just trying. Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to say, what is it? He's basically trying to throw like allegations of sexism at this report, which is corroborating allegations of sexism about him.
That he
uh,
committed, yes.
that he committed. Yeah, really gross stuff. And then we, of course, know that Chris Cuomo, who is a very outspoken anti-Italian prejudice activist, as we know, because he compared the word Fredo to the N-word.
Yes.
He, as we know now, and we knew starting in May, but he did a lot of advising to his brother. Like, we know he wrote statements that Cuomo said Chris wrote statements that Andrew read basically verbatim. And at the same time decided it was not a conflict of interest to stay at CNN. And
Yeah.
what he was doing is he was covering Andrew when Glenn Greenwald pointed this out. When Andrew was doing well, Chris had him on the show. Then when there's a scandal, he can't talk about him anymore. So it was inappropriate on both ends. And CNN offered Chris the chance to take a leave of absence while he advised his brother, and he declined. So they kind of openly embraced the conflict of interest. And then Chris actually apologized. He said it was a mistake that he was advising his brother, but then he said, but I'm a family man first, job guy second, which, okay, then don't do your job at that point.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just such entitled impunity, and yeah, gross. So I just want to highlight. Were you looking at that comment, Leslie? I saw your eyes do that. The super chat. Oh, I'm gonna read the super chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Sexual assault aside, do we think any politician is nice or easy to work with IRL? Not defending AC at all. Honest question. Well, I think that's a fair question. I think that luckily we have a 150 plus page report documenting all of the stuff that he did that doesn't just fall under tough boss.
Yes. And if there were the case, put them all in jail. Like, what was the or do we expect all slave owners to be nice? Like, what? Like, right. Well, I don't understand. Like, how that? Like, if all politicians are like abusive bosses, then they shouldn't be bosses. Like, that's the answer to that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a systemic issue, and then, but I also feel like it's a moot point because we're not just talking about like Andrew Cuomo being hard to work with, busting people's balls. Like, he's touching women's breasts, touching their lower backs.
I mean, that's the thing. These are people who worked for the Democratic Party, wanted to work for the Democratic Party all their lives, I'm sure, put up with all this crap from him. If they're willing to speak out, that means something.
Yes, that's true. Actually,
I don't think that they're just like weak people who are upset that they got yelled at a little bit. Right. Because they screwed up at work. Like, that's like, you don't go this far. You don't basically put your entire career at risk over small stuff.
Right. And someone also points out it doesn't absolve him if most bosses are also shitheads, which is true.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah. So we also want to talk about more evidence of how terrible the Democrats are. Do you want to? Okay, this is another. Yes, Cuomo should have been removed for the nursing home scandal. Yes. He is an extremely well qualified person for removal. Truly Renaissance man. You got the sexual harassment. You got the threats. We had Ron Kim on the show before. Remember, Leslie, who Cuomo told, "I will destroy you." He's a bully. He has blood on his hands over the nursing home. He gave liability immunity to nursing homes and hospitals because they were his donors. He snuck that into the budget. He has an austerity budget. He's basically a fiscal conservative, and he also what else does he do? Fiscal conservative, and lots of other great things. And we know he covered up. We definitely know that he covered up the nursing home deaths. Like, that's not even disputable because his aide made the mistake of saying that out loud during a meeting. So, again, this guy should have been. It's kind of stunning. Do you think that he's definitely going to be definitely going to resign?
No, I don't think he's going to resign at all.
You know that De Blasio was so happy about this.
I know, right?
He's like so excited. Yeah.